It's a word that makes most people cringe, right? But here's the thing, wealthy individuals don't see debt as a four-letter word. They see it as a tool, a lever to build wealth. Think about it. Donald Trump didn't become a billionaire by avoiding debt. He mastered the art of using it strategically. The rich understand that debt, when used wisely, can minimize taxes and generate income. For instance, leveraging a mortgage to acquire rental properties can create passive income streams while offering tax benefits. It's not about avoiding debt. It's about knowing how to make it work for you. Now, let's flip the script on the traditional advice to stay out of debt. Sure, consumer debt like credit cards can be a trap, but not all debt is created equal. There's a world of difference between buying liabilities and acquiring assets. Picture this. Someone takes out a loan to buy a flashy car. It depreciates the moment it leaves the lot. Meanwhile, another person uses a loan to invest in a duplex, rents it out, and lets the tenants pay off the mortgage. That's the difference between a scarcity mindset and a wealth mindset. The key is understanding the purpose behind the debt. Here's a little secret. The tax code is written for people who know how to use debt. The wealthy use it to their advantage while the rest of the world fears it. For example, real estate investors often use something called depreciation to reduce their taxable income, even as their properties increase in value. It's like playing chess while everyone else is stuck on checkers. But here's the kicker, this strategy isn't just for billionaires. Anyone can learn to reprogram their mind for wealth and start using debt as a stepping stone to financial freedom. And speaking of stepping stones, let's talk about the different types of income and why not all dollars are created equal. Not all income is created equal. Most people are stuck chasing earned income, the kind you get from a job. It's the most heavily taxed and the least efficient way to build wealth. Think about it. You trade your time for money, and Uncle Sam takes a big chunk before you even see your paycheck. That's why the wealthy don't rely on earned income alone. They know there are smarter ways to make money. For instance, flipping houses or trading stocks falls under portfolio income, which is taxed at a lower rate. But even that isn't the ultimate goal. The real game changer? Passive income. This is the holy grail of financial freedom. Imagine owning a rental property that pays you every month, whether you're working or not, or earning royalties from a book you wrote years ago. Passive income isn't just about money, it's about time. It's about breaking free from the grind and letting your assets work for you. The rich focus on acquiring assets that generate passive income, while the poor and middle class stay stuck in the cycle of earned income. It's a mindset shift, plain and simple. Here's the kicker. Most people don't even realize they're playing the wrong game. They're taught to work hard, save money, and maybe invest a little in mutual funds. But the wealthy, they focus on building streams of income that flow to them effortlessly. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And once you understand the difference between earned, portfolio, and passive income, you'll start to see opportunities everywhere. Speaking of opportunities, let's dive into why the education system doesn't teach this stuff, and why that's no accident. Let's face it, the traditional education system is broken when it comes to teaching financial literacy. Schools teach you how to solve for X, memorize historical dates, and write essays, but when was the last time a teacher explained how to balance a budget or build wealth? It's no accident. The system was designed to create employees, not entrepreneurs. Think about it, you're taught to get good grades, land a stable job, and save for retirement. But where's the lesson on cash flow, assets, or liabilities? It's like being handed a map with half the directions missing. Here's the harsh truth. Most people graduate with a diploma in one hand and a mountain of debt in the other. They're thrown into the real world with no clue how to manage money, let alone build wealth. Meanwhile, the wealthy are playing by a completely different set of rules. They understand financial psychology and how to reprogram their minds for wealth. They know how to use tools like financial statements to spot opportunities and avoid pitfalls. The education system, it leaves the rest of us fumbling in the dark, stuck in a scarcity mindset. But here's the thing, financial education isn't some secret club reserved for the rich. It's out there if you know where to look. Books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad or games like Cash Flow can teach you more about money than years of formal schooling. The problem is, most people don't even know these resources exist. And that's exactly how the system keeps you in the rat race. But once you start learning, you'll see the cracks in the system, and you'll never look at money the same way again. Speaking of learning, let's talk about why financial education is the key to breaking free. Financial education isn't just important, it's the foundation of a wealth mindset. Without it, you're flying blind in a world designed to keep you broke. Think about it. How can you build wealth if you don't understand the difference between an asset and a liability? Most people think their car or even their home is an asset, but the truth is, if it's not putting money in your pocket, it's a liability. The wealthy know this, and they use financial education to make smarter decisions. It's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep and grow. One of the most powerful tools for financial education is understanding cash flow. Picture this, you've got two people earning the same income. One spends it all on liabilities, cars, gadgets, vacations. The other invests in assets, rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, or even a small business. Over time, the second person's cash flow grows, while the first person stays stuck in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. This isn't rocket science, it's financial psychology. And once you grasp it, you can start reprogramming your mind for wealth. The good news? You don't need a fancy degree to get financially educated. Resources like Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow Game or books like The Millionaire Next Door can teach you the principles the wealthy live by. It's about learning to read financial statements, spot opportunities, and think critically about money. The more you learn, the more you realize how much the system is stacked against you and how to beat it. But financial education isn't just about knowledge, it's about action. And speaking of action, let's explore why blindly following traditional financial advice can be one of the riskiest moves you'll ever make. Here's a hard truth. Some of the most common financial advice out there is also the riskiest. Invest for the long term in mutual funds, they say. Save for retirement in a 401k. But have you ever stopped to ask who benefits most from this advice? Spoiler alert, it's not you. The wealthy don't park their money in mutual funds or rely on pensions. They know the risks of putting all their eggs in one basket, especially when that basket is controlled by Wall Street or the Federal Reserve. The system is designed to keep you dependent, not free. Take the idea of job security, for example. It's a myth. Relying on a single source of earned income is one of the riskiest financial moves you can make. What happens if you lose your job or your industry collapses? The wealthy don't rely on jobs, they rely on assets. They understand the importance of diversifying income streams, whether it's through real estate, businesses, or other investments. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter and protecting yourself from the unexpected. And let's talk about pensions and retirement plans. Most people think they're safe, but the truth is they're anything but. Pensions can disappear, and retirement accounts are at the mercy of market fluctuations. The wealthy don't leave their future in someone else's hands. They take control by building assets that generate passive income, no matter what the market does. It's a mindset shift, from scarcity to abundance, from fear to confidence. And once you start thinking like the wealthy, you'll see why entrepreneurship and creativity are the ultimate tools for breaking free from the system. Entrepreneurship isn't just about starting a business. It's about taking control of your financial destiny. The wealthy understand this better than anyone. They don't wait for opportunities to fall into their laps. They create them. Think about it. Instead of saving for years to buy a property, they raise capital from investors or use creative financing strategies. It's not about how much money you have, it's about how resourceful you are. Creativity is the secret weapon that turns ideas into income and problems into profits. Here's the thing, most people are taught to play it safe. Get a job, save money, and hope for the best. But the wealthy know that playing it safe is often the riskiest move of all. They embrace calculated risks and think outside the box. For example, instead of saving for years to start a business, they might partner with someone who has the skills or resources they lack. It's a mindset shift from thinking, I can't afford it, to asking, how can I make it happen? That's the difference between a rich mindset and a poor mindset. And let's not forget the power of acquiring assets. The wealthy focus on building things that generate income, whether it's a rental property, an online course, or even intellectual property like patents. They don't rely on personal savings to fund their dreams. They use other people's money, time, and expertise. Entrepreneurship isn't just about making money. It's about creating freedom. And once you start thinking like an entrepreneur, you'll see why the ultimate goal isn't just earning more. It's building assets that work for you. Speaking of goals, let's dive into the mindset shift that makes all of this possible. The biggest difference between the wealthy and everyone else isn't their bank account. It's their mindset. The rich don't focus on earning more money. They focus on acquiring assets that generate passive income. It's a subtle but powerful shift. Most people are stuck in the work hard, earn more loop, but the wealthy know that true financial freedom comes from letting your money work for you. It's not about grinding harder, it's about thinking smarter. And that starts with reprogramming your mind for wealth. Take the concept of scarcity versus abundance. Most people operate from a scarcity mindset, constantly worrying about not having enough. They save every penny, avoid risks, and cling to job security. But the wealthy, they embrace an abundance mindset. They see opportunities everywhere and aren't afraid to take calculated risks. For example, instead of hoarding cash, they invest it in assets that grow over time. It's not about being reckless. It's about understanding that money is a tool, not a goal. Here's the kicker. Your subconscious money beliefs play a huge role in your financial success. If you believe money is hard to come by or that wealth is only for lucky people, you'll unconsciously sabotage yourself. The wealthy actively work to identify and eliminate these subconscious money blocks. They read books, attend seminars, and surround themselves with people who challenge their thinking. It's not just about learning new habits. It's about unlearning the ones that keep you stuck. And once you make that shift, you'll see why the wealthy focus on assets, not income. Speaking of assets, let's talk about the 6 essential rules of investing that can help you build wealth starting today. Now that you've learned the 6 essential rules of investing, the question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you let it sit in the back of your mind? Or will you take action and start building the life you've always dreamed of? Remember, wealth isn't just about money. It's about freedom. It's about having the time, choices, and opportunities to live life on your terms. And the best part? It's never too late to start. So, here's your challenge. Take one step today. Whether it's reading a book like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, analyzing your cash flow, or exploring your first investment opportunity, just start. The journey to financial freedom begins with a single decision to think differently. What's holding you back? Is it fear, doubt, or those old money beliefs you've been carrying around? Whatever it is, it's time to let it go and reprogram your mind for wealth. If you found this video helpful, don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another lesson. And don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share it with your family and friends. The more people who understand these principles, the more lives we can change together. Let's keep this conversation going, because the more you learn, the closer you get to financial freedom. So, what's your next move? Let us know in the comments below, and let's build wealth together. Done with your script.